behind the world's greatest empires of wealth, hide secrets so shocking that most people will never learn about them. We're not talking about mere billionaires here. We're talking about dynasties with power that transcends generations, countries, and even governments. Welcome to the hidden world of the 10 richest families on Earth, where fortunes aren't measured in millions or even billions, but in trillions. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to have so much wealth that you could buy entire countries? To have power that stretches back centuries? By the end of this video, you'll understand how the ultra-wealthy elite operate on a completely different level than the rest of humanity. And trust me, the family at number 1 will absolutely shock you. 10. The Wertheimer family. Net worth, $69 billion. When you think of luxury, one name stands above all others: Chanel. What you probably don't know is that this iconic fashion house is entirely owned by just one family, the Wertheimers. And their path to controlling this fashion empire contains one of the most dramatic twists in business history. During World War II, as Nazi Germany occupied France, Coco Chanel attempted to use anti-Jewish laws to seize control of her company from the Wertheimer family, who were Jewish. She argued that the company should be Aryanized and returned to her sole ownership. What happened next is extraordinary. The Wertheimers, who had fled to America, outmaneuvered her by temporarily transferring their ownership to a Christian businessman. After the war, instead of seeking revenge, they negotiated with Chanel and eventually regained full control of the company. Today, brothers Alain and Gerard Wertheimer own 100% of Chanel, a company that generates over $15 billion in annual revenue. Yet they're so private that they're known as the invisible billionaires, rarely photographed and almost never interviewed. Think about that next time you see someone with a Chanel handbag or perfume. All that luxury, all that prestige, flowing directly into the pockets of a family so secretive that most people don't even know they exist. 9. The Boehringer von Baumbach family. Net worth, $73 billion. Our journey into extreme wealth continues in Germany with a family whose name you might not recognize, but whose products you've almost certainly used. The Boehringer/von Baumbach family controls Boehringer Ingelheim, one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies that's been operating since 1885. But here's what makes them truly extraordinary. While most major pharmaceutical companies are publicly traded, Boehringer Ingelheim remains entirely family-owned. Think about that for a second. In an industry dominated by shareholders in Wall Street, this family has maintained total control of their empire for nearly 140 years. But the real question is, how have they managed to stay so powerful yet remain virtually unknown to the public? Unlike flashy billionaires who splash their wealth across social media, the Boehringer family operates with extreme privacy, rarely giving interviews or appearing in public. And that strategy has served them incredibly well through world wars, economic collapses, and even pandemics. While other fortunes rose and fell, theirs continued growing in the shadows. 8. The Thomson family. Net worth, $75 billion. What controls the information that shapes our world? Who decides what news reaches your eyes and ears? For countless global corporations, governments, and media outlets, the answer is the Thomson family of Canada. Their journey to astronomical wealth began with Roy Thomson, who built a newspaper empire in the 1930s. But the family's true power move came in 2008, when they merged with Reuters to form Thomson Reuters, creating one of the largest information and data companies on Earth. Here's the mind-blowing part. Thomson Reuters isn't just a news agency. They provide the financial data, legal information, and tax software that power entire industries. Whenever you read breaking news, there's a good chance the Thomson family's empire had a hand in delivering it to you. But despite their enormous influence over global information, the Thomsons remain intensely private. David Thomson, the family patriarch, is known to be so reclusive that even longtime business associates claim they've barely met him in person. What secrets could keep a man with $75 billion hiding from the public eye? And what does he know about the world's information systems that we don't? 7. The Koch family. Net worth, $115 billion. What if I told you that two brothers built a corporate empire so vast that it touches virtually every aspect of American life, from the paper towels in your kitchen to the gasoline in your car? Meet the Koch family, owners of Koch Industries, the second largest privately held company in America with annual revenue exceeding $115 billion. The late David Koch and his brother Charles transformed their father's oil refining business into a conglomerate spanning petroleum, chemicals, commodities trading, paper products, and more. But what truly sets the Kochs apart is their political influence. Through a network of think tanks, political action committees, and educational institutions, the Koch brothers have spent billions reshaping American politics to align with their libertarian views. Their funding network became so powerful that it was sometimes referred to as the Kochtopus for its far-reaching tentacles of influence. While David Koch passed away in 2019, the family's empire continues under Charles Koch's leadership, with the next generation being groomed to take control of both the business and political networks their fathers built. Love them or hate them, the Koch family represents something unprecedented: the ability of private wealth to influence public policy on a national scale. 6. The Dumas family. Net worth, $142 billion. What if I told you that a single family controls the most exclusive luxury brand in the world, one so elite that even millionaires have to wait years for the privilege of spending tens of thousands of dollars on their products? Meet the Dumas family, the controlling shareholders of Hermès, purveyors of the famous Birkin bag that has become the ultimate global status symbol. The family's business began in 1837 when Thierry Hermès started making harnesses for European noblemen. 6 generations later, approximately 15 Dumas family members collectively own about 75% of Hermès, an ownership structure that has allowed them to maintain ironclad control over their luxury empire. What makes the Dumas family unique among luxury dynasties is their fanatical commitment to craftsmanship. While other luxury brands have moved toward mass production, Hermès still trains its craftspeople for years before they're allowed to create products bearing the company name. This dedication to quality has created something almost magical in the business world: genuine scarcity. The infamous waiting lists for Birkin bags aren't a marketing gimmick. They're the result of a family refusing to compromise their standards for the sake of scaling up production. This strategy has paid off spectacularly. During economic downturns, when other luxury goods suffer, Hermès products often increase in value, functioning more like investments than purchases. 5. The Mars family. Net worth, $158 billion. M and Ms. Snickers, Twix, Mars, Milky Way, Skittles. What do all these iconic brands have in common? They're all owned by one intensely private family, the Mars family. What began as a small candy company founded by Frank Mars in 1911 has grown into a global conglomerate with over $45 billion in annual revenue. And here's the shocking part: the company remains 100% owned by just 3 members of the Mars family. While most major food companies have gone public or sold to conglomerates, the Mars family has maintained complete control of their empire for over a century, expanding beyond candy into pet food. They own brands like Pedigree and Whiskas, veterinary services, and even plant-based proteins. This level of privacy comes at a price. Family members are reportedly forbidden from speaking to the media about the company or their wealth. Jacqueline Mars, one of the family heirs, once said in a rare interview, "We're a very private company, and that's the way we like it." This obsession with privacy has served them well. While public companies face pressure for quarterly results, Mars Inc. can make long-term decisions without shareholder scrutiny. 4. The Ambani family. Net worth, $183 billion. While most of the world's wealthiest families built their fortunes in America or Europe, the Ambani family proves that Asia is now producing dynastic wealth that rivals the West. The family's journey began with Dhirubhai Ambani, who started as a gas station attendant in Yemen before returning to India to found Reliance Industries. Today, his son Mukesh has transformed that company into a corporate behemoth spanning energy, telecommunications, retail, and media. But what truly sets the Ambanis apart is their lifestyle. While other billionaire families on our list hide from the public eye, the Ambanis embrace extravagance on an almost unimaginable scale. Their family home in Mumbai, named Antilia, stands 27 stories tall, requires a staff of 600 people to maintain, and is valued at over $2 billion, making it the second most expensive residential property in the world after Buckingham Palace. The family made headlines when Mukesh's daughter Isha got married in a ceremony that reportedly cost $100 million, featuring performances by Beyoncé and guests including Hillary Clinton and John Kerry. But here's what's truly mind-blowing. Despite this ostentatious display of wealth, the Ambanis are still only number 4 on our list. The families ahead of them control even more money, though they deploy it in very different ways. 3. The Walton family. Net worth, $247 billion. Always low prices. This simple promise transformed the Walton family from owners of a small discount store in Arkansas into one of the wealthiest dynasties in human history. When Sam Walton died in 1992, he left his retail empire to his wife and 4 children. In the decades since, Walmart has grown into the world's largest company by revenue, with over 10,500 stores worldwide and 2.3 million employees. But here's what makes the Waltons truly extraordinary. Their wealth is so vast that it equals the combined wealth of 42% of American families at the bottom of the economic ladder. Let that sink in. One family has as much money as 140 million Americans combined. The Waltons' power extends far beyond retail. Through their investment vehicles and the Walton Family Foundation, they've become major political donors, art collectors, and education reform advocates. Unlike some other families on our list, the Waltons aren't particularly secretive, but they do maintain a level of privacy that's remarkable given their enormous wealth. Many Americans shop at Walmart weekly without realizing that their purchases are enriching a single family to such an extraordinary degree. 2. The Rothschild family. Net worth estimates range from $350 billion to over $1 trillion. No family in history has been the subject of more speculation, conspiracy theories, and fascination than the Rothschilds. Rising from the Jewish ghettos of 18th century Frankfurt, Meyer Amschel Rothschild sent his 5 sons to different European capitals to establish what became the world's first truly international banking network. At their peak in the 19th century, the Rothschilds were unquestionably the wealthiest family in modern history, financing wars, governments, and industrial revolutions. The family's famous quote, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws," speaks to their understanding of where true power resides. Today, the Rothschild fortune is divided among hundreds of descendants, with major family branches operating investment firms, wineries, charitable foundations, and art collections. While no longer the singular financial power they once were, their influence on global banking, geopolitics, and cultural institutions remains immense. What makes the Rothschilds truly unique is their longevity. While most family fortunes dissipate within 3 generations, the Rothschilds have maintained their wealth and influence for over 200 years, adapting to revolutions, world wars, and technological transformations. In a world where new tech billionaires capture headlines daily, the Rothschilds represent something different: the ability to build wealth that transcends individuals and even generations, creating a legacy that shapes history itself. Number 1. The Al Saud family. Now we're entering a different realm of wealth altogether, one where personal and national fortunes become almost impossible to separate. The House of Saud, Saudi Arabia's royal family, controls the world's largest oil company, Saudi Aramco, valued at over $2 trillion. With thousands of family members, their collective wealth is estimated to be at least $1.4 trillion, though the true figure could be much higher due to the opaque nature of the kingdom's finances. What makes the Al Saud family unique is that they don't just own businesses, they own an entire country. As absolute monarchs of Saudi Arabia, they control not only the world's most valuable natural resource, but also the holy sites of Mecca and Medina, giving them enormous influence throughout the Muslim world. The family's wealth is distributed unequally among thousands of princes and princesses, with King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman controlling the lion's share of power and assets. Their spending can be staggering, From the $500 million yacht purchased by the Crown Prince to the Leonardo da Vinci painting he reportedly bought for $450 million. In a sense, the Al Saud family represents wealth at a scale that transcends the very concept of money. When you control a nation's resources, treasury, and sovereign wealth fund, traditional concepts of personal fortune become almost meaningless. So there you have it. The 10 richest families in the world, controlling fortunes so vast that they operate by different rules than the rest of us. From pharmaceutical empires and luxury brands to oil kingdoms and banking dynasties, these families don't just possess wealth, they wield power that shapes our world in ways both visible and invisible. The next time you buy a candy bar, pump gas, check the news, or shop for groceries, remember, somewhere, one of these families is getting just a little bit richer. If you found this glimpse into the world of dynastic wealth fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos that pull back the curtain on the forces that shape our world. And let me know in the comments, which of these families surprised you the most? And more importantly, what would you do if you had wealth on this scale? Until next time, keep questioning everything, especially when it comes to money and power.